Hi, I'm Cathy from Quilt Beginnings in Columbus, Ohio, and we are back for month 8 of our Kona block of the month. This one's called Mojave. Your beautiful kit. If you got the finishing kit, you'll get the nautical is our background color. It looks black, but it's actually a really deep navy. And then all of your beautiful pieces inside. As always, if you start at the top and work your way down, start at the bottom and work your way up, that's your color of all the fabrics in order of the pattern. So here they are out. And we went ahead, I don't know if you can see the little lettering, but we put little letters on each fabric, B, C, D, E, F, G, so we could keep track of what fabric is what. This pattern is really cool. It took me a minute to figure out how did they make these blocks and where is the actual block line. For my eye, I see the block being this unit here and this unit here. But actually the block is this entire thing, all the way here and here. What causes that to happen is we've got some rectangles in here and half square triangles, and we'll talk about how we put it all together, but we're going to work in big units like this. There's actually only 3 color combinations. There's 12 different colors in the quilt, and we make this color combination, and this color combination. There's 4 of each color combination, so we're kind of going to work in sets. I think it's a lot easier to work 4 colors at a time than to try and do all 12 colors at the same time. It gets kind of like, where do my flying geese go and which side does this need to be on to keep everything squared up. This corner matches one color, this corner matches a color, this corner matches one color, and this one. So to keep yourself organized, I'd work 4 colors at a time. All right, let's get started. We're going to go over to our cutting station and I'll meet you there. All right, as you can see, there is a lot of cutting that goes on for this project, and I have not changed any of the cutting instructions from what they have described in their standard pattern. The one thing I do different, and I've done this different every month so far, so this should be no surprise to you, is I do not like taking squares, drawing a line, sewing on each side of the line, and then trimming it down to get my half square triangles. So we've gone through a variety of techniques. Here are a few that are already made. You know, triangle paper is my favorite. You could use your AccuQuilt Gold, whatever system works for you, but they need to finish at 3 inches. So whatever system works for you, make sure that you're on track to make finished half square triangle units that are 3-inch finished. You're going to make them all with the navy background, so that makes it really easy, and you only need 8 of each color. We'll put 2 in each of our blocks, and we are making a total of 4 blocks of each color combination. I have everything cut out to make 1 block of the first set of colors. The first set of colors are B, C, I, and H. Don't get confused like I originally did and put B, C, D, and E together because it will not match the quilt pattern. So go ahead and sew all your half square triangles together, and then we'll move on to the next step. After we have our half square triangle units together, we're going to do some flip and sew where we attach a part of a smaller square to a larger square. So those are these 4. It's a 3 1/4 inch square of color to a 4 1/4 inch square of background. I'm going to go over to the machine and show you a quick way that I like to do for marking my center line. So now that I'm here, instead of actually drawing a line from corner to corner, if you just take your fabric and press it, especially with these Kona solids, press it on the diagonal like that, you have the line of what it is you need to sew. Then I can just take it, put my needle down on the tip of that line, and then sew on my fold. Till I get to the far end. I'm going to do the same thing with the next one. I'm going to fold it in half to the perfect square, like that. Let it open, and there's my sewing line. I'm going to make sure my corners line up. It needs to be flat on the corner. And I'm going to sew from corner to corner right on my line. I already folded this one. It's a lot faster than marking them. And the last one. Got those all done. And again, I'm just making enough for one block. All right, I'm going to clip off this outside edge so that I can flip it back, and I will have the corner clipped of my square. Whoa. Make sure you cut all the way through your fabric. I'm just laying the 1/4 inch line of my ruler on top of my sewn line and trimming off the excess. All right. And I'm going to press them all towards the fabric that I just sewed on. I love these wool pressing mats. They are nice. And I also love this cordless iron. It's one of my favorites. Okay. Whoops. Lost my 4 squares underneath. We are en route to making this unit. So we just did this part of the unit, and now we need to sew on all the borders. So you can see there's a 4 1/4, a 1 1/4 by 4 1/4 color strip, a 1 1/4 by 5 color strip, a 2 by 5 background, and a 2 by 6 1/2 background. All of those are going to just go like a log cabin, the smaller to the, and then the bigger, the smaller than the bigger, and you'll end up with a framed piece. I'm going to go ahead and sew one of these, and then I'll sew the rest of them without you watching. So let me get the colors matched up. So I need this, and this, one of these, and one of these. Boop, boop. I'm going to orient my triangle so it's up in the top left corner, and I'm going to sew on the short piece first. I'm going to sew it to the bottom. And I'm thinking I should have chain pieced all of these because then I'm going to have to come back. You're going to press, I'm going to just finger press, like you can take it to the ironing board. And I would change piece all these normally. I'm going to add the next side on. And then the short black will go beside it. And the bottom will be our last piece for this part of the block. All right, I'm going to give this a nice press, and I'm going to complete this process for the remaining 3 colors of this block. Okay, now that we've gotten all 4 of our corner units put together, and remember you need to make 4 of this color combination, so I would normally be working on all 4 at the same time, but for simplicity of demonstrating, I'm just doing a single block. But I went ahead and sewed my 4 patch together in the center, and I did follow the diagram here to make sure I'm putting the colors in the right position. That will dictate how these 4 colors play out and how these flying geese, actually turn into flying geese, or half square triangles, get sewn together. So our next step is to sew our flying geese together. So I think it's a lot easier to lay your block out and then pick up your flying geese, and they should. I'm going to give you in your tips and tricks, you'll have pressing instructions. Half of your half square triangles get pressed towards the nautical, and the other half get pressed towards the color. It's going to make it a lot easier when you go to sew these together when the seams are opposing each other. So look in your tips and tricks for how to press your half square triangles by color, and then we'll go ahead and just fold each of these over, and I'm going to take them to the sewing machine and put them together. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got these sewn together. When I come over to press them, I'm going to press them the opposite of the direction of my 4 patch because that's where the seam will butt up. So I'm going to just lay them back out. There we go. And then let's see, this one goes this way, so this will go this way. This one goes this way, so this will go this way. And this one presses that way, so it'll go this way. And last, this one goes down, so this one will go up. Okay. The next piece to add on will be our rectangles to our half square triangle units, and then we'll have a big 9 patch. So from here, I probably would press these in and these out, and then you've got your rows and your block's almost done. I'll be back. All right, now I'm all the way to my 9 patch, so I'm just going to sew the top row, the middle row, and the bottom row together, and then my block is almost done. So our block is all put together. I'm just going to press the final seam. It looks great. This was a fun one. Turn around and press the other side. Take the hairs away. There we go. And there's our finished block. Okay, here's our first block done. It's the one up here in this corner. It's also down here, and we do a rotation. They do get rotated through the quilt, and it's down below where we can't actually see it. Anyway, I hope you guys learned something today, that you have a great time with this quilt. It's a fun one. Next month, we will be doing the corsage quilt right here. And I look forward to seeing you next month. Have a great week.